Skylines is a new game that came out on Steam recently. If you don't know anything about this game, it's a city builder. If you don't know what a city builder is, it's not that basic. It's not that complicated. It's pretty basic. All you do is you build a city. So we're gonna go out and do that here today. We're gonna just pick a map that we can pick. There's many different maps to play on, as you see back here and here. This game's on Steam, so it has full access to Steam Workshop, so therefore you can get access to all these mods that they make for the game. And I don't really want any mods available. I'm just gonna try to show you the base game here first. We'll just do here at the Green Plains, like the first basic map area. We'll make a city name. It'll be like Popontop is awesome. Can I do that? Like Popontop is awesomeville. Popontop is awesomeville. Start. That's the name of my city. Popontop is awesomeville. Anyway, we'll get into it here and kind of show you the basics of the game. Obviously, these episodes I'm hoping aren't going to end up being too long. This game is. I've been playing this game all day, and I've just been grinding and going on it like crazy. And I've just been playing a lot of these games, so it's like, you know, there's little tips here. Hello. We're just gonna work a map around here. So we got to see that this is a little patch of land. If we zoom out here, you can kind of see little dotted out areas, a little patch of land. So that's where we start out with. First thing we got to do is build a road. That's like the first thing. The only thing we're allowed to build until we do build a road. But we're just gonna build a tiny road for the purpose because we are going to demolish this road. And it's because I don't really want a 2-lane road. That's the way you start out with, because the game's trying to tutorialize you. We're actually going to pause the game real quick while I get this whole thing set up or whatever. But the deal is you want a 4-lane road. It's just a lot better for early on traffic. But one of the things we got to worry about is power and water. So let's get with that. Everything started. Obviously, every city needs power and water, and sewage actually in this game. So we got sewage. We'll put sewage down here, I guess. It's got the only point to sewage is it's got to pump this stuff out. So it's going to pump out a bunch of like nasty, you know, sewage into the river down here. So you don't want to put your water pumping station downriver from it. You want to put it above river from it, otherwise you're gonna have a problem. We'll put it right here at the edge of our little city space right there. That should be a good enough spot for it. And we need to connect these two with water pipes, like so. And we eventually need a water pipe out the whole entire area, but we'll get into that in a second. We want to make sure we have that all set up. And then we actually do have to set up some roads. We're going to do some 4-lane roads here. We're going to want to work our way out towards our water, just because it can be convenient for setting up power to that, and as well as other things later. That's one of the reasons I don't like the game playing while we're starting this stuff out. You gotta have it paused up, and then you can get a good thing going. We're gonna have like a little square here that connects. It's not a very square, but it's a shape. It's a, you know, a 4-sided shape. So we got that going on. So we got that as a little setup here. So we're probably gonna put some industry down here. But first thing we should probably do is either we could do wind power here, but we'd have to put it up here, which I guess isn't so bad if it worked itself out. I mean, we could get what, 7 megawatts, and then maybe like 8 some of these out here, like 8 way up here. So we could eventually get 8. You could get a couple wind turbines going because they only cost 6,000, but a power plant costs you. If we compare here, look, we can see here that a coal power plant is going to cost us $19,000. So we can get 3 windmills for that. But it's going to make 40 megawatts of power. This is only going to make 7 a piece, 0 to 8 a piece. But I mean, we're going to get 7 where we're at. So what we could do is we could put 3 of those down for like 3 times 7, which is 21, right? Or we could get straight up, what is it? 40 megawatts of power from our coal power plant. So I think we're gonna go with the 40 of the coal power plant, and have it right here. If we have it down here, right on the, you know, our little dock area or whatever, this things will be instantaneously powered because they're right next to it. We gotta make sure we can spread water out here. Is it all hooked up and connected? It doesn't. I guess it's because it's paused. It hasn't say, like, if I unpause it here, these things should all hook up and start going. They need power, but they shouldn't need power as soon as that's ready to go, right? I mean, it's all hooked up. Power. They're connected. The coal power plant, good. Everything's good. Why does it? See, it's saying right now, these little lightning bolt symbols, that's kind of what they mean or whatever. They need power, but they got power. Okay, so we got that all figured out. We're going to pause it again so we can get back set up. We're going to zoom out here. And we're going to figure out what we're going to do with the rest of our city. We're going to need, obviously, our biggest thing right now, we have demand here down in this bottom little area. So we have residential demand, which is for, like, houses and stuff, right? This is going to be commercial demand. Well, there's none right now because obviously we have to have people come live in houses before they want to live in a commercial zone. Commercials are like stores, like your general store, your grocery, or whatever. And then you obviously have industrial demand, so like industry, like factories and things that manufacture things, things that give your people jobs, right? Besides, I mean, obviously you have people working in commercial as well. But we have to zone all that. But first, we should probably make some roads because we're gonna need a little bit more area to do this with better. So we'll just whip the wrap around here, zoom in, and we'll make a road that goes up this way a little ways, and we'll just call it out like right there. It's a pretty good road. I gotta say, it's a 4-lane road, but we want to make sure it's 4-lane roads because these are gonna be like major roads. So what we'll do then is we'll start zoning this all residential up here. We gotta make sure residential is not, you know, far away as possible from what we're gonna make industrial down here essentially. So we're gonna put this up here like this, get a little bit of the start going on. But what we need to do is make sure that there's power lines hooking up this power. See, it's like, see the highlighted section? That's essentially all power. So we can work that way all the way up here like this. And and as long as that's touching a house in there, it's gonna give it power. But we'll see, we'll get more into the depths of the power system a little bit later on. But that's gonna essentially give us basic power for the beginning of the game. We can kind of let the game play here for a little bit. We'll just go at slow speed just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on or whatever. We can also, I mean, we can just pretty much look here, and we're gonna have houses start to develop because we've laid out land for it or whatever with our plots here. We also start making residential, but there's no demand yet, so we'll wait till we get to that. We can teach you about milestones. We'll get into that more later. I'm sorry if there's so many information coming at you one, but this is kind of the idea of this game, is that you have there's a lot of aspects to it, and it's really good if you eventually get into it. We are slightly losing money here every week, though. As you can see down in our budget, we have $18,000 left, and we're trying to kind of conserve that and make it that much money go as far as we possibly can here into our city, so we can start getting some people working and start making some taxes off of people, so on and so forth, so we can start getting some money back, because we're losing it right now pretty hard. So, it doesn't cost you any money, so we don't have to worry about that. Even if we run out of money here, which we might do at the very beginning of the game, it might not be such a problem. What we do have to do is set up water here. We did not connect the water pipe out here, so we could just shoot this out here, and all the highlighted areas covered. All those houses are going to be guaranteed covered, and we'll just make some out here, just because we know we're probably putting some stuff out there here soon. That's what I plan. I plan on putting a commercial down here. We're going to speed the game up a little bit, just because we got to get the houses going, get the houses set up, maybe get some demand for some new stuff. We are losing quite a bit of money. It's going to just lose faster, essentially. It's just, you know, speeding time up. That's the way that goes. Do you not have water over here? You know, you got water. Everybody's got water. Okay. Just making sure when they first moved in, they were like, we don't have any water, man. And I'm like, you totally have water. So we'll hook some up down here. And I don't think we're going to build out here right away yet, so we just won't even worry about that. We're kind of, like, you know, trying to conserve money. We have a bit of commercial demand now, though. So what we can do is we got to build shops where they're going to essentially connect to houses. So if we build shops there and we build houses in this little part here, there's some residential demand, so that should work just fine. We're getting houses built, and then the houses will automatically connect to power even though there's no power line. See, it works in this. If we look at our power map, it highlights itself. So if the building next to it has power, then it could just transfer power. There's like imaginary power lines you can't see or whatever that connect it or whatever that you don't actually have to pay for or whatever, just like residential lines, like small range lines. And now, so that's all hooked up. We gotta get a little bit of industrial demand. So what we can do is we can just build industrial straight off of this power station right here, and it's just going to automatically have power, clearly, obviously, right? We got to make sure it's all hooked up with water, and I believe I already did that. See, look, bam. So we're getting a city going. We're getting a little bit of a start to Popontop as Austinville. And it's going well. I think it's going okay. We're not having too many problems. It's basics, though, right? We get some people. We need a bunch more industry. There's apparently like a high industry demand, so we have to make even more industry here. But I mean, it hasn't quite all the way built up yet. We got to see how it works. It's essentially a game where this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be watching out for demand. We're going to give the people what they want. We're the mayor of the city. I'm Popontop from Popontop is Awesomeville. So we got to make sure we get it going. I mean, some of you out there may know, like, this is just the basic stuff. We're just getting started, but that's how pretty much the whole first episode is going to be. But hopefully you guys stick around, because I plan on making this a series where I play through the game and do fun stuff, awesome things. We should build one more little road out here. We'll just extend this road out while we still have the money, because we might go into the negatives here. It's just the way sometimes you have bad starts or whatever. So build this road out here just a little bit more, just so we can put more residential out here without exposing it to the industry. And, you know, your commercial zone down here. Your commercials, you don't need very many commercial. Obviously, we have no demand for commercial right now, even though we didn't even fill up the bar that we kind of set for it. So we're starting to set up for that overly so. We built some more residential up here, though, because our demand's a little high down here in the corner, or down in the bottom. We're definitely losing money now, though. And the only way to make money back is for our industry to start getting going. We got to make time going. We have to have people move here. So the more residential we make, kind of the better position we put ourselves in. What we can do here too also is we can take out a little paint tool rather than like a sectioning tool, and we can paint in the rest of this residential just to have a little bit more, because that's the only thing we have demand for right now. And we got to kind of wait for that situation to go out. But as you kind of see at our budget there, you can kind of see, maybe you might see the little red number. It's going down, so we're almost making money. So we're at the point where we don't have to worry about money as much. We just have to wait until we make some. We're barely positive right now at $26. But I mean, other than that, we just have to wait. We did reach our first milestone. So this is what milestones are. Occasionally at a certain population, we reach 500 people. We're allowed to implement taxes and loans. And we're also allowed to implement garbage, healthcare, and education, which gives us the landfill site, the medical center, and the elementary school. So this is like essentially new badass stuff that you can add to your, you know, obviously you don't just gotta have houses, stores, and industry, right? We get like landfill sites because we're gonna have to start taking care of garbage, medical clinics so our people can be healthy, and an elementary school. We'll see how the situation goes. What we do want to do for sure is we want to build a landfill site. We'll just put the landfill site out here. We want it away from everything, because it kind of makes you know, it's dirty. I guess it's where everybody's trash is. But that should give us some garbage trucks. And the garbage trucks will allow us to pick up people's garbage. People, oh, we got to make sure this is watered up here. We didn't quite get water. There we go. But there's those little bubble warnings. And we also have tweets up here in the top where they just tell you, oh, I would really like some fresh water. And it's kind of like a reminder to you, like, hey, bro, don't you think you should be giving your people some water? Maybe you forgot or whatever. Everything's good except for residential demand. So we might want to build another road while we have the money up here. Well, I'll show you something cool we could do here. We could build a curved road. This is obviously one of the tools in the game. We can build a curved road out here. It's going to be a little expensive of a curved road, and it is going to demolish one house, but sorry for that, you guys. We'll build more houses, don't worry about it. So we're just going to fill this all in up here with residential, which is a good idea. I mean, we're just building out here. We're just kind of making our little suburb area start out with the commercial down here and the industry down here. We're going to have to work on industry at some point, too. We have to probably build it out like here. I don't know. We'll work on it. There's no demand for industry right now. There's still a bunch of demand for residential. We'll look at the other new buildings we got, though. We have an elementary school that we can build. It is $10,000, or we can build a medical clinic, which will give us the ability to help people. I think we're going to build a school first. I think education is important. This is like not reflect my political views or nothing, but we want to put it in a residential area so all the residents can be happy. It doesn't quite reach down to the bottom of the map, but it's getting some people educated, and that's what we want, right? We don't want a town full of stupid people, right? That would not be ideal. We don't quite have the money at the moment now to still purchase the medical clinic, but we'll have to do that the next time we get money. Actually, one thing we can do, I forgot to show this off, we can take a loan. We could take a small loan. We'll get $20,000. We pay it back with a little bit of interest, and it automatically directs that from your bank account. It's just like less earnings all of a sudden, which is fine because that loan will actually allow us to build a medical clinic as well. We can see, if you can see, look where I put it on the map, all the green is covered by it. So if we put it like at the very, you know what we should do? I think we're actually going to build a little side street before we do that. We're going to build a little side street coming out here like this, and just a little far out here. Actually, it's on curved road right now. We don't curve road. We went straight street, just like that. That's just a little bit out there. They're a little bit upset, but you know, they'll get over it or whatever because they're gonna have a medical clinic right here, and that should cover pretty much most of the suburb area. They don't have water up here. We forgot to build water for our new road. We gotta get that in there like that, and it's going well. I think everything is going fine. People need power apparently. Do they not have power up there? Oh, the power lines wasn't extended, was it? Oh, I cut the power line with the medical facility. So what we should really do, I messed that up real bad. Okay, we gotta pause that. I didn't even realize I was gonna take away the medical facility with that. So we can relocate building. We'll just move it down here. And what we'll do is we'll just reconnect our power lines here. Space already occupied by the street. Oh yeah, the street destroyed the power lines. That's unfortunate. So we have to figure out what to do here. We should just, we should just be able to connect this, but they won't happen right away. We just built the street in the wrong spot. Okay, so we'll just pause here. We'll think about it for a second. So I could extend a power line out here, but there's no way of just like putting it. What we can do is if we just maybe like we don't have really that much of a demand for industry, but if we put like maybe like a house right here. Okay, I don't know if a house right there. We could put houses all the way along here, maybe. And then what we'll do is we will extend our power lines out like here from this to like this, and hopefully these houses get filled up. But if not, worst case scenario, we'll have this hooked up to there. Like, it's still hooked up. It's kind of going to look funky, and it's going to demolish Railroad Road later, but it will work. That was kind of a mistake on my part. I apologize, you guys, but it is all going well. We're doing pretty good here for the first episode anyway. We're losing power, but hopefully these houses will get built. And irregardless, we put the power line here, so the power line should hook up everybody with power. What we can do is we can take our demolisher tool out. We can work some of this power line back because there's houses up here. We don't need this part. We don't need this part. This part will still hook to them, so it's like this right now. And essentially, we're going to probably get rid of all the power lines that we have because it's just really not that necessary. As you can see here, everything's going fine with zoning. There's a little bit of commercial demand, but I think these are starting to fill in already. It is. We'll speed time back up because it kind of slowed down after we pause. And just kind of get things back to going again. Residential demand's not so much because obviously we have built a little bit more down here. I think we need to supply them with water though. Yes, we do. There we go. It's all these. It's this micromanagement type of activity here. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's just it works perfectly fine, and that's what I like about this game. And it's kind of like you have to be very aware of everything going on all the time. It is obviously a city, but we're building a city. We can zoom in here. We can kind of see our people. People are individually animated and whatever. So there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. And I find it to be a really interesting kind of game, and I like it a lot. I highly recommend it. I'm going to make this into an entire series, but I'm just saying if you want to play it for yourself, make sure to check it out on Steam. It's like $30, I think, is how much the asking price is, which is not too bad. I definitely can't say it's too bad. I want to get this road out here. Maybe I have to do like I don't want to curve the road back necessarily, so I might have to demolish a house here, but I just want the road to come down this way, so I'm going to spend a little bit of money for that because I am getting a little bit more residential demand. So I'm going to have to make sure I fill this out here, and then we'll just have a residential area all the way out here. Should be solve the problem. We might have a little bit more industrial too, so we could do that pretty basic. We'll just cover it around here like this. We'll just paint all the way up to the edge of that. Just a tiny bit of residential, or not a residential demand, but industry. What is the industry called? It's the commercial demand, right? Industrial zone, the industrial demand, whatever. Commercial, industrial, and residential. I get confused sometimes. It's fine. We got way more residential demand all of a sudden. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this area in down here. Make sure we got that covered. And this is essentially what we're doing until we watch our city build. We're gonna get milestones. We're gonna have to build more things. We did build a school and a medical clinic. These people don't have water up here. See, it's like I said, it's always about your time, and you gotta be very aware of your time. I mean, I'm still kind of new to it. I only just got this game today. And I have been playing for like a few hours before I jumped into this, just so I have an idea of what I was doing here. We can also see up here in the upper left corner, I want to show something off. We gotta hit a milestone, so we can unlock the ability to mark districts, which you can get service policies and industry specializations, so they can get their own rules per different districts. So like you want your industrial district to like nobody smokes there, so that way there's less chance for fires because that's an actual thing or whatever. We get all different types of things here. We can get a police department and fire services, right? So we got a police station and a firehouse now that we can build, and we obviously got a bunch more money for that. Anything else? We can take a second loan now, so we can obviously do that. We're going to do that right away because we're at $1,000. We'll get $60,000 from this loan, and this loan will allow us to build a fire station, hopefully, as well as... See, the fire station's got to be able to cover most of the place, but I want to kind of put it down here by the industry because the industry is going to catch on fire more. So we'll build one fire station down here, and actually we might want to build another one up here just to cover the northern part of town because it's really important. I gotta put this out there. You gotta have fire trucks all the time. It's a really important thing, just because like fires will happen and they'll burn all your places down, and it'll be a really negative situation. But we also have police here that we can build. You only really need like one police station, and it'll kind of like cover the whole town. Like, there's not going to be crime in a tiny town. We only have 1,000 people right now. You got one police station. You got to figure out a couple police officers. That should cover the whole situation. We'll see how it goes, though. We need a little bit more residential. We're gonna have to like build out side streets here, and we might start doing that. We might just like make this our main residential zone. We have the money, obviously. We have a loan. We're losing money a little bit right now. I don't know if it's because we need more commercials. There's no demand for that, obviously, but we'll have to see how the situation goes. Probably because we're paying stuff out a little bit. There's ways we can fix our income problem if we thought we were having a major problem. But we're making 95 people a week. We got to speed time up here a little bit. Just let things go. And this is what you find yourself doing. Sometimes you're like doing a lot of stuff at once. Maybe you want to pause the game even or slow it down or whatever, and then you get on to other things. We are going to build a residential area soon. I'm letting demand build a little bit, like letting people think. Like our population increase is going down. We're down to 45 people because there's probably not enough houses. So we should probably build more houses. I mean, but it's just one of those things we gotta let it build. I mean, if you kill it too early, you might overdo it, and then you'll have more than there's demand. You'll oversupply for demand, which doesn't end up costing money. Even though we are losing money right now as it is. So we'll build a road down here. It doesn't have to be a huge road, but it can be. It's just long enough. And what we'll do is we'll build a little bit of side streets here with these little 2-lane roads here, like this. We could just build some off like right here. Well, I want to start the road here. Nope, I want to go here to like out here. And these little side roads can eventually connect, or they could just sit out there for right now and build the houses in them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just spread my little marker tool out here. So far, the residential demand is really, really high. So we'll just build houses all out here. And these should get built really quick. Since we're especially on high speed, we also need to have a little more commercial demand. So... what I think I actually am going to do here while we have the money is I'm going to take my 4-lane street here and work it down and just connect it to this road. So people have a way of working around. I did destroy some commercial for that, but I'm only working on commercial demand as it is. And what we could do is we could build commercial demand straight up here to kind of meet the houses. There's no water here, though. We need to fix that situation probably all the way throughout. We'll just go through here, connect it like this, and then work our way out, and that should cover most of that. And then we got a little tad bit there, and we get that taken care of. And everybody's got water. It's a good situation. Everything's going good. There's a little bit of demand for everything, but other than that, we're still doing fine. We kind of built our special buildings. We got a police and a fire station. We could check this all out by clicking down here below. We can see how our fire situation is. We have 2 fire stations, which is good because we kind of cover the north and south of town. Obviously, as our city progresses, it will need to spread out. Well, like eventually, I had a city earlier that needed like 5 fire stations. It can get kind of intense and intimidating or whatever, but it shouldn't, as long as you got Popontop here trying to help explain to you some things. We got some industrial demand. We'll just build this out a little bit. Here, have some more industry. We kind of want to start spreading it out down here, though. We'll see how the situation goes. We should build a new road if we could. We actually already got to another milestone. We are a tiny town. What a tiny town allows us is to build decorations, level 2 unique buildings. We'll have the ability to implement a pet ban or smoking ban per district, which we haven't even district things yet. We have parks and recreation. We also can build a high school. We're kind of flying high when it comes to population. We're doing really well here. We're going to pause the game real quick, though, just because I'm checking things out. We have a little bit of demand for everything. There's a little bit of industrial space still left, but we definitely need to build some residential here. We'll just work this down a little bit. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to figure out our power situation here. Power should spread, right, from here to here, even without these power lines. I think so. So like if I delete this, I wanted to check this out because I don't need these power lines right here. So I want to build a street over here, but I don't know if I can. I think that's working. Yeah, see, if we just take these power lines out, everything still has power because it's all connected now. And now these power lines are quite obtrusive and so on and so forth. We got to make sure they get out of the way, and we get a little bit of a refund every time we do that. So now we can build a street out here, like so. And then what we can kind of do, I think I'm actually going to make this a curved street, and we're going to like get it out to here and then curve it back like this. And what we'll do from this street is we'll just pull a little curve out here like this, maybe. Like something like that. That's a pretty good looking curve. Space already occupied, so we got to like let it back a little bit. So when we out here, no, I need to like adjust the curves a little bit more out here, and then like out here to like this should be good. It's good space because I think we're gonna make this more industrial space because I don't really want to work too down here into my entrance / exit of my city. You kind of want to leave that space open so traffic can be, you know, better handled or whatever. So we'll just we don't really need too much industrial right now, so we'll just let this build up here. We'll pause right now. We'll just let it play real quick, speed up. Yeah, I think everything's going well with the city. We got residential, we got commercial, everything's growing, everything's building. We got a lot of landmarks going on. We have a bunch of new things we can implement. Like we can see here, we can pay off our loan. We don't really want to do that. We got a budget though. We can obviously increase the budget for certain types of things, taxes. I'll get on this more next episode. But some of the few things, you know, I'm just showing it off here. Parks and recreation. We can build a park. Let's build a park before we end the episode because we're nice guys like that. So what we could do is we could build a small playground here for $1,000, which is pretty cheap because we got a lot of money right now. And we're gonna try to make it in an optimal zone where it covers like most of this area up here, and I think that this should be fine. It'll cover most of it anyway. It's like a middle ground. It's like the very tippy top of the residential area and the very bottom doesn't get covered by it, but most of the residents do, and they're gonna like having a park. It's a little bit of like, you know, social activity, like get out and play type of thing, and you know, that's a good thing. That's something we just unlocked, and we're gonna unlock more things hopefully in the next episode. I am gonna pause it here real quick. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I just want to say that because this is a series that I really hope we can get blossoming. You want to see me build Popontop is Awesomeville. Popontop is but it's not even .com. I should have put .com in there. Popontop is Awesomeville. It's hard. It's a tongue twister almost. It's crazy long word. But you guys got to remember that. Popontop is Awesomeville. You can see it down here. All right. Popontop is Awesomeville is going to become a great city. So you guys got to help by watching the video and making sure to leave a like rating down below if you liked it, because that will really support me and let me know that you want to see more of the series. If you're somehow new to my channel, make sure to subscribe so you can check out the rest of this series as well as all the other series that I make. Other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day or whatever time it may be, and I'll see you in the next episode.